And my Thon family visits are just something that always hold dear to my heart. I still go on them, so it's so fun to just see the kids grow. I think it's been about 2 years, so in the time they've had a baby, the baby's now 1. Our Thon child gets treatments in Germany, so you see him traveling, and it's just so much fun to see the family over time as well.
So as a freshman, I was involved in a project called Design, Build, Fly. We built a little RC aircraft to compete against 100 other international teams down in Tucson, Arizona. So I actually got to fly out to Tucson in April for a fly-off competition, and to see all of those groups that were coming from across the world was just awesome to compete against. But then we also placed 7th in the competition, which was just a great experience as a freshman to have worked year-long through this project and then be so successful too at the fly-off. And also just to interact with other students my age, but from across the country and across the world.
The most impactful thing that happened to me at Penn State is, honestly, I don't think I could pick just one. From the orgs that I'm in and the programs that I participate in, they really just lead you to places that you would never imagine that you are. I know when I was a freshman, I have questions like, what do you do? How do you partake in these orgs? How do you become a part? How do you have a leadership role? Like, you hear all of these older students tell you about their experiences, and you're like, wow, how did you decide to go with that route? How did you decide to, do these great things while you're here? And I think it's my greatest accomplishment was just going with the flow and taking what I'm passionate about and taking part in those orgs.
I think one of my most memorable experiences is that after joining the architectural engineering major my sophomore year, there was about 100 kids in my class, and I thought to myself, I'm never going to know any of these kids. There's 3 years above me, and there's a year below me. How am I ever going to get to know all these people? And within that year, I knew most of the people in my year, a lot of the people above and below me. I still stay in touch with a lot of the people that were 2 years older than me, and they still try to help me find internships, or whenever I was looking for full-time, they all said, let me know if you have any questions. So I think just that sense of community, and I've seen it everywhere, not just in architectural engineering. A lot of the mechanical engineers are the same. I have friends in other engineering disciplines. They'll still talk to me, Mary, where are you moving? What are you looking at? Can we answer any questions? So I think just the sense of community at Penn State has been amazing over the 5 years that I've been here.
Probably the most impactful thing that I've been able to do through Penn State was to build a bridge in Panama that served a community in need. It was something I never imagined I'd be doing, and I was so grateful that I had that opportunity to see how engineering can impact the lives of other people.
I want to say when I was elected to be an engineering ambassador, I went to the first banquet that they had, and it was actually the same time the graduating seniors were giving their speeches. And I was sitting in that chair and looking at, I hadn't even met these people yet, but they were just talking about all their different experiences in engineering, as an engineering ambassador, and just their memorable moments at Penn State. And yeah, I was a sophomore at the time listening to this, but it really got me excited for the next 2 years of my time here. They had accomplished and done so much in their 4 years at Penn State, and I was so excited to kind of revamp that again with this organization.
One of my most impactful experiences at Penn State has been with my involvement with the Engineering Leadership Development minor. For one of the courses, I worked in a group where we came up with different solutions to more effectively wash and dry moringa leaves. Moringa leaves are a product of Zimbabwe, and they take moringa leaves, they wash them, they dry them, and then they process them into nutritional supplements. Their current processes before our project left some of the leaves very moldy because they were wet and that they didn't dry them effectively, so they had to, in turn, throw a lot out as waste and discard them. And so our project was tasked at how do we get rid of this problem and how do we decrease the amount of waste that we have with these moringa leaves. So our team, I just remember this one memory. We were at the creamery and we were sitting at a table and we brainstormed different ideas that we had for the project. And at the remainder of our brainstorming session, the greenhouses were conveniently located right next to the creamery. And we had to go actually in the greenhouses, talk to some of the employees, and extract some moringa leaves that our director, Mike Erdman, had been growing there. And for me, that was one of the first moments here that it was an aha moment of, wow, like I am doing something actually with my engineering classes. I'm actually working on a real project that's impacting real people.
One of my most memorable experiences here was being able to study abroad. Coming back from Ireland, I definitely feel like I'm a lot more open-minded, and I've sort of thought in different ways and improved my creativity and communication skills. Since I was abroad, I went to a very international university there, so there were people from Japan, from Australia, different parts of Europe. So it was a lot of figuring out what their cultural backgrounds were when we had to work on projects together, getting those communication skills, and then bringing it back here with an engineering perspective, sort of changing our processes and inventions to match what the background of a place was really cool and insightful.